everyone, hope you're having a great day. This video is going to be about personal hygiene on the Appalachian Trail. Okay, so I know hygiene while you're out doing a thru hike is a big thing, of course, and a lot of people have lots of questions about it, and so many people have different ways of how they do it, but I wanted to show you what I do and what my setup is. Maybe you can take some ideas from it and apply it to your plan. Also for women that are watching this, stay tuned at the end of this video, and I'm going to share some information on specific, a very specific thing that will help you while you're out there as far as personal hygiene goes. Maybe that the guys don't prefer to hear. So this is what this is my setup. So first of all, personal hygiene, bring a bandana. This is a great snot rag. This helps, you know, if you need to wipe anything off, wipe your face, whatever you need. And I just put this right on the shoulder strap of my pack and use it constantly. And of course, there's a million different things you can use a bandana for, but I'm not going to go into all of those. But specifically for hygiene while you're out there, this is what I carry and what I use. I do bring toenail clippers or nail clippers. My nails grow pretty quickly. I like to have my nails very short while I'm out there. Just I feel cleaner having it that way. You know, you're not the most sanitized out there, so the less exposure to dirt and grime and dirt or grossness, the better. So first thing on my list to bring would be nail clippers. Also, some sort of chapstick for your lips, lip balm. This is Green Goo. I love this brand. Been using it for a while. It works great. So also to consider, bring a little tube of suntan lotion so you don't get burned. When you're on the balds, you're pretty exposed out there, so some suntan lotion is a pretty good idea. Let's see here. Oh, and another one of my favorite things to bring is a washcloth, just a regular washcloth. I love to wash my face, wash my feet, wash everything I need to wash when I get into camp. This is a lifesaver for me, and I take this throughout the whole way and use it. By using this, I don't feel like I need to shower as often. I was going into town or having a shower every week and a half. I went as far as almost 3 weeks one time without having a shower while I was doing the AT. Now granted, I'm starting early in the winter months. I'm starting in February, and that's when I started last time. So it is cooler. I didn't get quite as grimy while I was out there, but you do sweat a good bit still. It's good to wipe off, and I felt this was sufficient in between taking a shower and being able to stay as clean as possible. Another thing to consider is being in shelters and picnic tables. I preferred to stay in my tent, and that worked out well for me. You know, hikers are not always that clean, so they're not washing their hands that often or well. You want to take that in consideration. Be careful using picnic tables or shelters. Don't touch too much or have all your stuff exposed to all that. Just to be on the cautious side. That's what I did. And luckily, when I thru-hiked in 2018, I did not get sick at all. I didn't even get a cold. So, but I was using hand sanitizer a lot. Whenever I would go into a town to resupply, I would buy a bottle of rubbing alcohol, and I would wipe down all of my gear, my sleeping pad, my sleeping bag, my pack, everything, even my bags. I'd wipe down everything. I did that whenever I could, and that kept all my stuff as sanitized and clean as possible. I know that probably was a little bit of overkill, but I didn't get sick, so I'll be doing that again. My toiletry bag. So I've got wet wipes that I have dried out, so they're really, really lightweight, and all you have to do is add a little bit of water and they're good to go. But I just have a few of these to just use when I need to. Of course, leave no trace practices, toilet paper, and a tiny little bit of soap. This is some biodegradable soap. It's just a tiny piece of it that I will use to wash off with when I need to, and then a little baggie of hand sanitizer. Rather than taking a whole tube of it, I just squirt a little bit into a baggie and good to go. So hand sanitizer for after you use the restroom. Try to be clean. You can also, you know, don't be afraid to just wash with water when you go to stream crossings or anything. I just would randomly just take some dirt, some of the rocks and sand that were in the water, and just kind of wash my hands off with that. And I did that a lot. So, you know, you don't have to always be using soap or anything, just use nothing. But it did help. Let's see. Okay, I've got a little bit of lotion for my feet. For when I get into camp, your feet get really, I know mine get really dry. I know a lot of other people's did as well. So when you're hiking all day long, especially in damp, wet socks, which is inevitable to happen, your feet get super dried out. So have some sort of lotion that you can bring to wipe onto or to rub onto your feet. And I would just give my feet a massage every night. I did this every single day, and my feet thanked me for it, and I was able to keep going without a problem. That was good. As far as hygiene, I do bring vitamins. I know I've gone all over this in a video before, but I do carry turmeric, magnesium, some zinc, and moringa. You know, just to keep your immune system up as much as possible. That's a good idea to do, if you can. So, in here I have, that's my little toiletry bag. My comb, this is all I use. This is the exact same comb I used in 2018 the whole way. I'll be using it again for my hair. This is all I need. I do bring a razor. I take I only bring the top of it. I prefer to shave. I like to be clean when I can, so that's why I do that. I also bring Q-tips. One of my pet peeves is having dirty ears. I cannot stand it. I can't sleep well if my ears are dirty. So I've cut these into little pieces, and I'll use one for both ears, and I'll do that every couple of days. It helps keep my ears clean, and I don't know, for personal satisfaction, it keeps me clean and keeps me feeling good. Some Leuco tape. I've got, that's about all for hygiene in this bag. But yeah, pads, girls, you can use pads. I do have a little tube of toothpaste. So that's pretty much my hygiene. That's all I'm going to be bringing for the hygiene portion of my thru hike. Not a whole lot else. I mean, you could bring some other things if you feel like you need it, but when you're out there, you're going to end up ditching a lot of stuff that you don't use regularly anyway. So, and don't forget to check out hiker boxes. Like if people buy a whole thing of Q-tips and don't use them all, they're going to throw them in a hiker box. So be sure you check those hiker boxes out when you go into hostels or into towns. There's lots of them for hikers that you can go through. You can use some personal hygiene stuff there, or you could find a lot there, especially like with pads. Like if I were going to go to a town and I needed some, I'm only going to pack out a handful of them, and I'm going to leave the whole rest of the bag in a hiker box. So check those out before you go to a store and stock up on so much stuff. See what you can find first. Okay, so I want to talk to specifically the women for a moment. That's all I've got for hygiene in general. But for women, okay, this is kind of important. So guys, you're good, so you may want to check out right here. But for girls, keep this in mind. when you're ovulating out there, there's lots of different things you can use. And I've tried so many of them with trial and error. You got to try them yourself to see what works for you. I've tried the urination devices. They just get messy and don't work right, so I don't even bother with them. I've tried the Diva cup. That was a nightmare. And I've used it a lot. It's not like I've tried it a handful of times. I have tried it. I tried to make it work for like years. And I used it a lot when I was running and doing the long distance races. Taking a Diva cup out on the trail, at least in my opinion, was a no. It gets messy. You need to be able to properly clean that, and it just was not worth the hassle. So for me, pads work best. A lot of girls use tampons out there. Whatever you prefer. I would say whatever you use at home, use on the trail is kind of a good idea. But try things out and see what works for you for sure. I want to share this with you, and this was a big thing that changed a lot. I want to talk about boric acid. So as you know, our chemistry on the inside gets, our pH could be off, and that can lead to lots of issues like different odors and also UTIs or anything like a yeast infection or anything like that. So, and I do this at home too, not just on the trail. So I discovered and learned about boric acid, and that was a game changer for me. So, but you've got to use it. You've got to know what it is and use it properly. So boric acid is, it's a white powder. You can get a whole bottle of it on Amazon. I will show a picture of that. But boric acid, you use these to help regulate and fix the pH inside your vaginal cavity. So you buy a bottle of that and then get some capsules, and you make your own capsules like this. And I've made a whole bunch of them, but when I just take a few of them onto the trail, as you can see, I've only got 5 of them. You know, I don't use them that often, but every so often, like especially after I've ovulated, I'll use one. Or if I feel something coming on, like a yeast infection or a UTI or anything uncomfortable in that area, I'll put in a boric acid, and that seems to stop it right away. Of course, I am not a doctor. Consult your physician on this advice, but this is just what works for me, and it helped a lot. So I didn't have any problems while I was out there, and as a matter of fact, I don't have any problems while at home or anytime because of boric acid. But this is highly toxic stuff, so you do not want to ingest it. So clearly mark your bag. I have boric acid, and this is just some coconut oil to help get it in there. So you take one, first of all, buy the bottle, buy some capsules, make your capsules of it. Clearly mark the bag so that you do not ingest these, because that could be really dangerous. And then when you feel that you need to, like after your period, or if you feel something coming on, then you put a little coconut oil on it, take one capsule and insert them all in. Just one. So I know some people have done up to 2 and they've been fine, but I've only needed 1, and it doesn't seem to be a problem. Whatever is going on in there seems to knock it right out, and this was a big thing, because the last thing you want to do when you're through hiking, or really anytime, is have being uncomfortable in that area. So this was huge when I discovered this. Big thing. So if you have any questions on this or need more information, please reach out, and I'll be happy to help however I can. There's also a lot of YouTube videos on how to make these, but it's pretty simple. You just buy the bottle, buy the capsules, mix them up, you know, fill them in your capsules, and they're good to go. And they last a long time. Just keep them sealed and in a bag, or I put mine in a glass bottle, and I clearly mark that. You be sure you clearly mark that it's boric acid and that it's toxic, because you do not want to mix these up or ingest these in any way. Be sure you don't do that. But just one of these little capsules up there, and you're good to go. It's going to usually clear up anything you've got going on, especially if you do it sooner than later. So that's my big tip, especially for women's health while you're out there on the trail. I hope that helps a lot. But this is my hygiene practice while I was out there. It worked out great the first time, and this is my plan for the second time around. So, but just keep in mind, you're going to be gross and grimy out there. It's inevitable to happen. That's part of being a thru hiker. So embrace it and go for it. All right, have a wonderful day.